My phone buzzed again. It was my mother, calling for the fifth time to ask when I'd arrive. I was on the train heading back to my hometown after months away. It was 6 in the evening, and my train was scheduled to reach at 8. My office had granted me a month-long leave, so I was finally returning home. What struck me as unusual was my mother's excitement. She sounded more eager than ever. I thought maybe she had simply missed me too much. At exactly 8, my train pulled into the station. I left immediately and went straight to my house. The moment the door opened, there she was, my sweet mother, eyes brimming with tears. "Oh, my dear son, you're finally home," she exclaimed, hugging me tightly. Inside, I dropped onto the sofa, exhausted from the long journey. "Mom, could you please bring me a glass of water?" I asked. But instead of getting up, she just sat beside me with a strange smile. "Your water is coming," she said softly, her eyes glimmering. Just then a young woman, perhaps around 22, stepped into the room. She looked nervous and shy as she handed me the glass. I thanked her and she gave me a timid nod. My mother's eyes lit up as she watched us. "Peter, this is Lucy, our new helper," she introduced warmly. "Oh, welcome, Lucy," I said with a friendly smile. "Thank you, sir," she replied. But my mother quickly corrected her, almost scolding. No, don't call him sir. He has a lovely name, Peter. Just call him Peter. That would make me so happy." I chuckled and agreed. "Yes, please, just Peter." That evening we had dinner together. Lucy quietly slipped into the kitchen afterward, but my mother leaned toward me and whispered, "Lucy has been through so much. She lost her parents just last week, and she had no one left to care for her. Their house was rented, so now she's homeless too. I couldn't just leave her like that. Taking her in felt like the right thing to do, and I needed help around the house anyway." I looked at her thoughtfully. "Mom, you did a kind thing. But, you're sure you know her well enough? You know how risky it can be letting a stranger into the house." "She's not a stranger, Peter," my mother insisted. "I've known her family for years." That ended the conversation. Later, I went to bed, though my mind lingered on Lucy's shy smile. The next morning, I dressed for the day and joined them at the breakfast table. Lucy and my mother had prepared all my favorite dishes. While I sat down, Lucy stood nearby, uncertain. My mother encouraged her. "Come, Lucy, join us." "Yes, sit with us," I added. She hesitated, then quietly took the seat beside me. For the first time, I looked closely at her. Her bright blue eyes mirrored my own. A strange connection stirred inside me. After breakfast, my mother said with a little sigh, "Peter, I'm feeling tired today. Could you take Lucy to the market to buy her some clothes?" I hesitated, but agreed. "All right, I'll take her." "Oh, wonderful," my mother said with unusual cheer. "You two can spend some time together." I couldn't quite understand why she was so eager for us to be alone. At the market, I helped Lucy choose some dresses. We laughed lightly at our shared taste, realizing we had a lot in common. Later, we stopped at a small cafe, where we ended up talking for hours. She opened up about her life, and I shared pieces of mine. The conversation flowed easily, leaving me with an unfamiliar happiness. By the time we returned home, it was already evening. I braced myself for my mother's scolding, but instead, she looked delighted that we had spent time together. She even suggested we go to the park the next day. Her insistence was beginning to puzzle me. That night before dinner, I asked her directly, "Mom, what's going on? Why do you want me to spend so much time with Lucy? You've been acting differently." She smiled knowingly. "Peter, I only want Lucy to feel at home here, not like a servant. I care for her deeply, and I'd love for her to be treated as part of our family." I didn't reply, but deep down I understood what she truly meant. She wasn't just thinking of Lucy as a helper. She was hoping Lucy would become something much more to me. That evening, Lucy baked my favorite cake as a thank you. Afterward, we went up to the terrace. The night sky shimmered with stars, and the moon cast its glow across her face. We laughed, shared stories, and then in a rare moment of silence, our eyes locked. Her shy smile was enough. I gently held her hand. It was a night I knew I would never forget. Back in my room, sleep refused to come. My heart kept pulling me back to her image, her voice, her laughter. From the very first moment, I had felt something unusual. But now I knew it for certain. I was in love with Lucy. The next morning, with my heart set, I went to buy a ring. I spent the entire day preparing the backyard, decorating it with lights and flowers. My mother had no idea, but tonight, I was going to ask Lucy the most important question of my life that I had planned to propose to Lucy later in the evening. That night, I took her into the backyard where I had arranged everything beautifully for her. The moment she saw the decorations, her face lit up with happiness. My heart raced as I went down on one knee, pulled out the ring, and asked her to marry me. Tears welled up in her eyes, and with a trembling but joyful voice she shouted, "Yes, yes, yes." Her happiness filled the air, but her loud response also drew my mother's attention. My mother rushed into the yard, and what she saw left her shocked. Me kneeling with a ring in my hand and Lucy standing before me. Just as I was about to slip the ring on Lucy's finger, my mother screamed, "What is all this, Peter? What are you doing?" I laughed nervously and said, "Mother, I'm going to marry Lucy, my first love. Isn't this what you always wanted? Believe me, I've never been happier in my life." But her face turned pale. "Nonsense. You can't marry her. Have you both lost your minds?" she shouted. And suddenly she collapsed to the ground. Lucy and I froze in shock. Panicking, I quickly called the doctor. After examining her, the doctor explained that she had suffered a panic attack and advised me not to give her any kind of stress. When she regained consciousness, I went to her room alone. Lucy was too scared to join me. "Mom, are you feeling better now?" I asked softly. "Yes, my son," she replied faintly. I hesitated, then asked the question burning inside me. "Why did you react like that? You're the one who wanted me and Lucy to be close. Why are you suddenly against this?" She looked away. "Peter, I may have wanted you to spend time with Lucy, but I never wanted you to marry her. That can never happen. I will not give you my blessing. Forget her." Her words pierced my heart. "No, Mother. I love Lucy with all my soul. She's my first love, and she loves me too. You liked her so much before, so why are you stopping me now? Please just understand me." But she closed her eyes, refusing to answer, as if shutting herself away from me. The next day, when I came home from the market, I found some guests sitting with her, a young woman, very pretty, and an older lady. I greeted them politely and sat by my mother's side. Then my mother said, "Peter, this is my friend's daughter, Alex. Isn't she beautiful? I've chosen her to be your bride." I shot to my feet in outrage. "What? No. This can't be happening." Turning to the guests, I told them firmly to leave the house. My mother's face burned with anger at my disrespect. "How dare you speak this way to them?" she scolded. "Because you know I love Lucy," I shouted back. "How can you even think of marrying me to someone else?" "I already told you, Lucy is not the one for you," she insisted. "Why not? At least tell me the reason. Can't you see the pain in my eyes?" "I can't give you that reason, not now," she whispered. "Then I'll take Lucy and marry her without your permission," I said furiously. Tears welled in her eyes. "Peter, my son, I love you more than anything. I can't bear the thought of losing you. I don't want you to hate me. If you really want to know the reason, you'll have to wait until I'm gone." Her words pushed me over the edge. In anger, I said something I'll regret for the rest of my life. "Then die, Mom." The moment those words left my lips, a shadow fell over me. She grew weaker day by day, her health deteriorating. Months went by, and she arranged for Lucy to marry another man. I tried to stop it, but Lucy, seeing my mother's fragile condition, agreed to go through with the wedding. She didn't want to cause more pain. My mother cried every day, and the doctors warned me she had only a little time left. Then one evening, when I returned home, I saw a crowd gathered outside. Fear gripped me. A man stepped forward and broke the news. My mother had passed away. I ran inside, my heart shattering, and found her lifeless body. It was the darkest day of my life. The day after her death, I went into her room. On the table lay a letter addressed to me. With trembling hands, I opened it and began to read. "Peter, my dear son," the letter said. "I know you hate me now, but I couldn't tell you the truth while I was alive. If you had known, you would have hated me even more. I never hated Lucy. In fact, I loved her deeply, as though she were my own daughter. That is exactly why I could never allow you to marry her. I wanted you to treat her as your sister, not as your wife. It's time for you to know the truth. Peter, you and Lucy share a bond by blood. She is your real sister. I adopted you from a very poor family, but from the first day, I loved you like you were my own flesh and blood. When Lucy's parents died, I brought her into our home, thinking it was the right thing. But I see now it only brought pain. None of this is your fault, it is mine. Please forgive me, my son. Don't let hatred for me take root in your heart. I will continue loving you, even after death. When I finished reading, the letter fell from my hands. My world crumbled in that moment. I had lost everything, my mother, my sister, and my love, all in one blow. And I was left standing there, asking myself, what did I do wrong? What did my mother do wrong? Now I am alone with no answers, no comfort, and no way back.